understand what was in the heart of John Knox when he said, "Give me Scotland or I die." I understand what Henry Martyn meant when he walked out of that terrible Hindu temple in India and weeping wrote in his diary, "I cannot endure existence if Jesus is to be so dishonored." I understand that. I want to see the world changed. I want to see society changed. I want to see righteousness prevail. But the only way that can be changed is through the power of the gospel. And we have to go back to that gospel. And the good news, frankly, no matter how you sugarcoat it, is scandalous. It is offensive, it is shameful, and it is hard to believe. In fact, that's the title of a book I'm in the process of writing, Hard to Believe. Very hard to believe. To believe the gospel goes against everything that is natural in man, everything. And that's why the word of the cross is so shameful, so antagonizing, that even faithful Christians struggle to proclaim the true gospel because of the rejection, the ridicule, and the embarrassment it brings. I think many people alter the gospel not to make it easier for people to believe, but they alter the gospel to take the heat off themselves for presenting it. Martin Lloyd-Jones once said, "If you have never been ashamed of the gospel in your life, it's not because you're such a great Christian, it's because you don't understand the gospel." It produces hostility. That's why it's hard for some Christian leaders when they get on television in certain secular settings to really speak the gospel. Sometimes they can't get the word Jesus out. It just won't come out. Paul said to Timothy in 2 Timothy 1:8, "Do not be ashamed of the Lord." What a bizarre statement to make to a preacher. Do not be ashamed of the Lord? But you see, the gospel is so hard to believe that the sinner who should feel the shame turns the shame on the preacher, on the evangel. Paul said, Romans 1:16, "For I am not" what? "Ashamed of the gospel of Christ." That just didn't drop out of the air. He didn't just say that without a context. Why did he say that? I mean, would a person, for example, who found the cure for AIDS say, "Boy, I just have to overcome shame to proclaim this"? Would a person who found the cure for cancer somehow have to overcome shame to present that cure? Why is it then when we have the cure for sin in the truth of the gospel, there is shame associated with it? Shame that silences us, shame that makes us literally twist the gospel into something easy, something acceptable, something that produces no hostility. It's always been that way. And Paul had, by the power of the Holy Spirit, come to a place in his life where he said, "I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. I will not be ashamed." And he said that in a context of a culture where shame and honor were critical matters. Shame and honor in the ancient Greek and Roman world were preeminent. Homer wrote this: "The chief good is to be well spoken of. The chief evil is to be badly spoken of by one's society." Avoid shame and seek honor. Paul preached in that shame-sensitive culture, shamelessly proclaiming what people thought was a shameful message about a shamed man.